Hello everybody and welcome back. In my series of My Tools videos, I wanted to cover something that I spend a lot of time with, and these are my soldering things. I've got one big soldering station, which is an AOUE. I suppose I pronounced it all wrong, but it's an AOUE Int 968. I've had this for a long time. It's a combined station. It does have a hot air unit that you can adapt to a number of different nozzles. You can have this is a 414, which you can use for older chipsets, PlayStation CPUs and graphics units, or smaller nozzles, and they just come off and you can fit the next. And this is a really useful station, and I've had it for, I suppose, about 8 or 9 years now. And although it's had some problems, I was always able to get replacement parts or new parts for it, and I've been through a number of nozzles by now, and they're not super expensive. They're also not really cheap, but I really like the fume extractor at the top of the soldering tip, because it just makes work so much easier. I do have a large fume extractor on the back of this desk, which I use too, but this makes so much of a difference. Also, it comes with a really nice stand and sponge holder, and yeah, it's just a really good station. And like I said, I've had it for a long time. What you do need is you do need a good cleaner pot, and you need your little squirty bottle of water for the sponge. Yeah, so for soldering, this here's my number one tool. When I'm basically on the road, I usually take one of these. This is an Ursa Tip C15. It's a really generic soldering iron, but it served me well, and it's way older than this thing here. I suppose this thing's probably got 15 or 20 years, and they work really well. And if I'm really far from anywhere that has power, I have one of these Rotenberger gas-powered soldering irons. I like this one because it does come with a good adjustment for power or heat, and it includes its own stand. Also, this thing, as opposed to another one that I had, does not lose any gas at all. So you can fill this up and just take it out of your work bag a year later, and it will still hold the full charge. And that is something that I think is really useful. But you don't want to take these when you do some more or less professional work, because if you're using an open flame burner, you usually need a permit, and you need to tell the people that you're working for that you're using one of these. Because of insurance reasons. Working with an open flame is a fire hazard, and so you have to tell people. Basically the flame in this one is very well contained. That's why I like it so much. And if you remove the tip, you can even use this as a small torch, and it works really well. But I don't use it that often. Most of the time when I go somewhere, I do have a power outlet where I can just use a normal soldering iron. And, well, last but not least, I've got my desoldering station, because, well, when you solder a lot, you basically break a lot of stuff, or a lot of stuff breaks that you want to solder, but you have to get the parts off first. And for that, I have the OUE int 474A++. I don't know what the plus is there for. I think it's kind of a generation thing. The first one was A+, then A++, and so on and so forth. I've had this for not that long. I had another one that unfortunately broke when I moved about 10 years ago because it fell to the ground and the pump was just broken after that. And now I have this one. This one is 70 watts, which is ample power. I like it because it is very easy to service. It comes apart really easy. It has a pretty good filter unit. When you take the filter out, it does not lose any of the contents until you open it up. And even then, it is really easy to clean out. It is very easy to service. And it comes with a lot of spare parts, so you do get 3 tips. You get a drill, you get a plunger for cleaning it. It comes with everything you need. And at least for this one, I've not had to buy any spare parts yet, which is saying something. All you have to do is you have to keep it really clean. The sponge in the back, you have to keep it wet whenever you use it. So first thing, if you use it, wet the sponge. Make sure that that the spring inside gets a little dab of water too, because it just works so much better if it's moist. And the second thing that you have to use, that you have to look out for, is when you're done working it, clean it right away before. Well, first of all, make sure that the nozzle, the tip, isn't clogged, and after you've turned it off, clean the filter right away. There's even some silicone grease that comes with it, and just get this all greased up from time to time. It makes so much of a difference because this just lasts so much longer. Yeah, once you've set it up, it's just a point and clicky thing. And the suction is really good. The airflow is good. It does have a filter on the top. You don't have to clean this filter that often, but I don't know, 2 to 3 times a year, just have a look in there if anything's accumulated in there, and just clean it out. The same filter is also in the hot work station for the fume extractor, and you need to clean this filter over here really often because it just gets really full of stuff easily. And you can also, so this is what it looks like after about, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 months of work. And you can buy these, I don't know, bag of these like €5, I think, and they last really long. The bad thing about these units is the smoke contains most of the flow chemicals inside of the solder, and this just accumulates everywhere in the pump, in the filters, even in the pipe work here. And from time to time you just have to clean it all out, and it's quite a mess. But it needs to be done, and if you do it, the whole unit just keeps on working really well. What I also like about it is, about both of these units, is the rework station and the hot air unit. They're both programmable to the temperature, while the soldering iron has the old turnstile potentiometer temperature adjustment, which I like a lot more because it's so much easier. I have something which where I don't need that much temperature. Whoop, I go down to 350, and now I'm just soldering like I would usually, and I go back up to almost 400. It's just so much easier, and that's why I like it so much. The airflow adjustment over here is, yeah, it works. Let's just keep it at that. It works okay. And it's a good unit, both of them are. And I like working with them a lot. And since I do a lot of soldering, that is why I have them. Yeah, that's my soldering stuff. I don't think there's much more to it. No, not really. No, I do have things that you need, is like if you clean stuff up, isopropylene alcohol. I have some PCB cleaner, which is also what you basically need. It's basically isopropylene alcohol with a few cleaning enhancements. It stinks. It's probably not good to inhale, but that's the stuff you need for working PCBs. And yeah, that's it for my soldering stuff. It's not a lot, but it's pretty effective. Thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.